Hello friends, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Catherine and welcome if you're new. Happy New Year, by the way. I hope you achieve all your goals and all your dreams come true. And before we get into the video, I am sorry for this lighting. It's actually the gloomiest of gloomy days, but also if you hear any background noises, my entire family is home. Today is the 1st of January, so we are chilling. There might be noises. I am sorry for that. And today I'm actually filming a very chill chit-chat video with you guys. I have my coffee here and I just want to chit-chat with you about my language reflections and goals for 2023. And I actually wasn't planning on filming this video, but as December got to an end, I started watching a lot more polyglot and language learning enthusiast reflections and goals and language journal setups, and I got very inspired. And so I filmed a video about my language journal that is actually not going to be a separate journal. It's just going to be a section in my life journal for 2023. And I made a few goals, like very broad, very like vague goals, because 2023 is going to be very busy in my life, very exciting but very busy, and I don't know how much time I will be able to dedicate to language learning, and therefore I didn't set up any specific goals. But again, as I got more and more inspired and more motivated by the beginning of New Year, I actually decided that I need to scratch that video off, even if it was completely ready to be uploaded. Sometimes that happens, that's life. And I decided that I have to make measurable and attainable and realistic goals for myself, because yes, I am very inspired and you will see that these goals are actually very ambitious, but it's nothing that I can't do if I am disciplined enough and if I stay consistent and if I integrate it into my daily life. So let's talk about 2022 reflections. So I have my journal here that I had, and I actually used this journal quite a bit. I had lots of different spreads that I liked and lots of different spreads that I didn't use, and two of the goals were actually to be consistent and then to also integrate my language learning into my daily life. So basically finding activities that I would do in my native language as well, like listening to podcasts that I like, or watching daily vlogs, or watching travel vlogs, just activities that I would do in Russian, Latvian, or English, either way, do them in my target languages. And then one of my goals was to do recap vlogs every month. I did not do that. And then one video in target languages a month, and I did the first 3 months, then went downhill. And then I also had different goals for Italian, Spanish, and Lithuanian, because last year I wasn't planning on focusing on German. As you know, at the end of October, I actually made a decision to return to German and make it my main language, and I did not reach any of my goals, because as I see now, some of the goals are very measurable. For example, for Italian, it was watch one movie, read one book, go up to Italian 4 and memorize. I did not do that because I had like 6-month break. From April to like August, I did not study pretty much at all. But then there's this goal, have a comfortable conversation about daily life. That is a dream. That is a big idea, and that is not an actual real goal, you know, that I can measure. Like, okay, maybe I will have a conversation with someone, but like, will I feel comfortable in it? I have to do a lot of other smaller goals to actually say that, oh yeah, I have come to this level where I feel comfortable speaking. And actually they are pretty unrealistic, because I was studying languages on my own up until this point. I want to change it a little bit in 2023. We will talk about that a little bit later. But how can I have a comfortable conversation in Italian and Spanish with someone if I don't take classes, if I don't know anyone who speaks in those languages, if I don't chat to anyone, like how can I do that alone? That is just very unrealistic, and now I understand that those are just like big goals, big dreams of mine, and before I reach them I have to set smaller goals. And it's actually very important to learn to set realistic and measurable and attainable goals that you can reach, and it's always better to set a smaller goal and then you reach it, and then you have a bigger goal, and eventually you will get to your dream, to your big idea. I set goals for quarters as well, and the first quarter was pretty good. I did quite a bit of things, and I also did a quarter recap, but then, as I said, at the end of March I just went downhill and I just didn't do anything. So that's why this year I want to work on discipline, and the main word for the year will be discipline. And so yeah, let's talk about my 2023 language goals and resolutions. I made a list of my current levels of the languages and goal levels, and the goal for consistency and integration into my daily life stays the same. And then I also have this big goal of having 120 hours of target languages with any activities. I can achieve that with any activities: reading, watching movies, speaking, whatever. Just 120 hours. Last year it was like 400 hours. Scratch that. I don't know if I even had 100 hours. So 120 is doable. I think it's 10 hours per month, and if I stay disciplined and consistent and focused, I can easily achieve that. I usually have about 15 to 20 hours of language learning, and then I say that, yeah, the month was pretty good. So again, this year I will be splitting my year up in quarters, and I will have 3 main languages for each quarter, and actually German is going to stay my main language for the rest of the year. I want to improve my German this year like never before. I will just switch between Italian and Spanish in quarters. So quarter 1 and quarter 3 will be Italian quarters, and then quarter 2 and quarter 4 is going to be Spanish quarters. So I'm gonna have, for quarter 1, for example, German, Italian, and Lithuanian, and then for quarter 2 is going to be German, Spanish, and Lithuanian. Lithuanian, I just want to like maintain. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And then I'm going to have my monthly tracker where I'm going to see how many hours I do each month and which month is better, and like it's going to help me reflect. And also I would like to film recap videos each month. I think it's interesting to look back and see how far you have come and actually realize that, wow, you have made progress. And yeah, now let's talk about each specific language. So let's start with German. I have a lot of goals for German this year, but they are things that I do either way, but it just like written down and measured them. So I want to learn 1000 new words, and how I'm gonna do that is by using Quizlet. Basically, I'm gonna just create this set of words and I'm gonna get them to 1000 new words, and then watch 4 movies. That's 1 movie per quarter, but if I skip 1 quarter, I can watch 2 movies in 1 quarter easily. So just by the end of the year, I want to have 4 movies watched. Then I also really want to read a book in German, and that doesn't have to be Harry Potter or Hobbit or whatever, because I know a lot of people go and buy Harry Potter in all of their target languages, but to be honest, I read Harry Potter in English and I couldn't understand half of it. Like, I was reading it when my English was already pretty high, but I still couldn't understand half of it because there were so many like wizardry words and like muggle, wizards, some kind of stuff that you don't even need in your target language. And so I don't know if that's a good book for learning language. So instead, I want to focus on like teenage, young adult books. Maybe I would read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, or my favorite book, Between Shades of Grey, or any of Casey West's books. They are very easy to read, and maybe I'll just get through them, or some short Nicholas Sparks book, something like that, you know, something that is close to real life and where I would find words that I will need in my real life instead of wizardry and like whatever words. And then the next goal is to learn all words from crosswords. So basically I have this crossword book, Wortsuch puzzles, and I got it in Austria, and there is lots of lists and lots of crosswords. And what I want to do is eventually, because I'm gonna throw this out eventually when I finish it, but I don't want to throw out all of the words. It's actually a really interesting and cool way to learn a language by doing activities that you like. And so I would, for example, find all of the words and I would write a list of these words on Word or in my notebook, and I would translate them, and then I would learn them in Quizlet or somewhere. So that is one of the goals that I really want to do. I don't want to just like finish this crosswords and throw this away and never remember the words. Then another goal is to journal for 100 days in German, and it doesn't have to be a whole paragraph. It can be literally just a couple sentences about my day. I just want to get to know where I lack, like what vocabulary I need. I also want to get so good in German that I can talk about my emotions and my feelings, and I can express myself a lot better. So journaling for 100 days I think would be a very good number, and I will start by a couple sentences, but then maybe as the year progresses I can start writing a whole page, or I don't know, like start writing about my feelings, start writing about what's going on in my life, like stuff like that, you know. The next goal is 6 hours of listening per month. This includes easy German, podcasts, any other vlogs or videos, movies, literally anything. Also music maybe. So 6 hours per month is about 12 minutes per day, and I'm already integrating this habit into my daily life of listening and consuming German every single day for about 5 to 10 minutes. So that shouldn't be too challenging, again, if I stay disciplined and consistent. The next goal is one that I came up literally 10 minutes ago, but I want to do at least one italki class of German this year, because again, I don't really know a lot of German speaking people, and the ones that I know, they don't really speak with me in German. They're like, why do you need German? You literally can speak German in 3 countries in the world. You don't need German. But I do need German, and so I want to have a italki class. I also want to download an app where I can maybe journal about my day, and then I can make friends. And then one like super big goal is to have 100 hours of German by the end of the year. I know I said I want to have 120 hours of language learning overall, but if anything, I want to have 100 of those hours to be in German, because as I said, my big dream and big goal is to be fluent in German one day and use German as I use English or Latvian or Russian, and just use it in my daily life. And to do that, I have to spend a lot of time. Now let's talk about Lithuanian. So I know Lithuanian on a pretty high level, but in the past couple of months I've realized that it's gone quite rusty and dusty because I don't speak with anyone, I rarely watch movies, I rarely read anything, and it's getting worse and worse, and I don't want to lose that language because I absolutely love Lithuanian. And so one of the goals is to learn 800 new words, again with Quizlet, then watch 12 movies. That's 1 movie per month. That's totally doable. Then reading 1 book. Hopefully I can find a book. Maybe I can read it online, or maybe in January I can read one of the 2 books in Lithuanian that I own. I don't know, I have reread those books a million times, so I don't know if I want to read the same books. And then the last goal is 30 days of journaling. So if I do 100 days of German, then 30 days of Lithuanian, and 30 days for all of the other languages, that still gives me some days where I can be lazy and not do anything. But yeah, 30 days of journaling, and here I actually want to be more specific, more like go deeper, like actually really talk about my mental health, my feelings, not just my daily life, because my Lithuanian was intermediate slash upper intermediate, and so I knew a lot of different words, but I definitely realized that right now, this past year, my Lithuanian has just gone so much down, and I just want to bring it back. So now let's talk about Spanish. So for Spanish, I honestly was thinking of ditching it because I don't have as much time anymore for foreign languages, especially if I focus on German the most. But then I realized that I actually will need Spanish in my life. It opens up so many opportunities, and if I want to travel to South America one day, which I totally do, I really need Spanish in my life. And so the first goal for Spanish is to learn 500 new words. So if for German it was 1000, for Lithuanian it was 800, then for Spanish it's 500. It's actually doable, it's not too much. And if I focus on Spanish for half of the year, each month I have to learn less than 100 words, which is not that bad. It's okay, it's fine. The next goal is, instead of watching a movie, I want to watch extras on YouTube. It's a show, basically. It's a very cringy show that's in a bunch of different languages, but I haven't ever watched it in Spanish. And then the next goal is to watch 24 easy Spanish episodes. So again, if I focus on Spanish for 6 months of the year, I get to watch 12 easy Spanish episodes every quarter, which gives me 1 episode per week, which is not that bad. And then also 30 days of journaling challenge. And since my Spanish is not very high, I would definitely write about my day, maybe 1 to 2 sentences, and just see what vocabulary I lack, just see what words I don't know, just describing my everyday life. Like, for example, oh, I went into the store and I saw these 5 vegetables, and I named the vegetables. And then the last language that I need to talk about is Italian. Well, I actually have a few goals for Italian, and I think I will be able to achieve them. So I want to learn 500 new words in Italian as well. My Spanish and Italian are pretty same levels, so yeah, I just want to learn the same amount of words for each of those languages. And then I have this textbook that's called L'Italiano è facile, and my goal for last year was to actually finish this entire textbook, and it has 15 lessons, but I'm on lesson 10 right now, and I'm not setting a goal to finish this textbook. I could do it throughout the year because 5 chapters is not that much, but as I am leaving in February, I don't think I can do 5 chapters in 1 month. So instead, I want to go through all of the 9 chapters in the textbook that I have completed and see all of the words and phrases and grammar structures that I haven't completely learned. For example, I have a lot of different words that I didn't know back then, and if I know them, I'm not gonna learn them, but if I don't know them, I'm just gonna make a list and then I'm gonna add them to Quizlet and learn those words. And then the next goal is to read short story collection. I am not gonna attempt to read a book. I have books in both Spanish and Italian, and 1, they are pretty big, and my levels are not as high to read books like that just yet, I would say. And 2, I read very slowly in those languages, and I don't want to set myself up for failure. So instead, I am just gonna read a short story collection, maybe like 5 stories or 10 stories, I don't know. And then watching 1 movie. If it's extras on YouTube, that's totally okay. If it's a short movie, that's also totally okay, but it has to be some kind of movie. And then also 30 days journaling challenge. Again, I just want to write about my daily life, about daily things, daily activities. I went there, I saw this. Another goal is to actually finish Memrise 4. So there is many courses on Memrise, and I am currently on, I'd say, Memrise memorize 2 or memorize 3 on Italian. I don't know. Memorize 4 is very short. It's like 10 or 11 lessons. So yeah, it's very doable. It's not that I can't do it. It's just that I have to stay disciplined and consistent. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below what are some of your goals, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And I also have a link to buy me a coffee page if you feel like supporting me. So I will see you very, very soon. Bye!